Now we move on with the next question. It's actually an NCRT worked out question. It's sample question. So, but it looks good. The circuit is quite good. That's why we are going to take that. Okay. Let's extend it like this. Let us apply here. Resistance. Did I miss? No. Okay. This one. So, okay. So resistor here. Okay, let's make this one here. Now here there is another resistance. Did I meet? Okay. Doesn't look good, right? Hope you understood what I meant to make. It's a proper. Okay, they have to meet like this. So. Okay. Now it looks all bad. Okay, anyways. I hope you understood the circuit. I meant to make it good, but now it looks much more. Anyways, now let's make the values. This is 5 volt. Right, this is 4 ohm. This is 2 ohm. This is 1 ohm. This is 2 ohm. This is 4 ohm. And this is given as 10 volt. Okay, this much is a circuit given, and you are again asked what is the current in each resistance has been asked. Clear? Clear? Now again we will start with what? Putting current divisions. See, here I am going to do a little different way of current division. That is, we are going to apply Kirchhoff's current law also. You guys can go by the same method which has been taught to you in the previous video sections. It's okay, but I just wanted to know or show guys that some of the textbooks current division is done in something different way. So you guys have to understand how it is done, right? Now here I am going to 10 volt and 5 volt, which is bigger 10, right? So I will start with 10. You guys can start with 5 volt. No one is forcing you guys. So this is I, right? Main current. Now it's going to split, right? So let this current be I1, right? So usually what we used to do, we will make this one I1, then this will be I2, right? So what I am going to do is, out of I1 current goes off like this, means this current will be I minus I1. Right, I can write in that way also. Right, now this current has reached this junction. Right, at this junction it is going to, suppose I'm going to name this one as I2. That is, out of this I minus I1, I2 has been lost, means this will be I minus I1 minus I2. Are you able to see? Should I write it with pen, guys? I think I have to write it with pen. So I hope this will be clear. I minus I1 minus I2. Right, this is I2 in this direction. This is I minus I1. I hope you understood how I current splits off I1, so rest will be I minus I1. This much clear? Now this I2 is current flowing, and that means series. I2 is the current here also. Now I2 is splitting, right? But see, this is I1. So I1 and I2 are meeting. So obviously this will be what? I1 plus I2. See, you understand what wonder we did? We are having all the sections or the current. There is only two parameters, or majorly three parameters. That is I1 and I2. If I had done this as I1, I2, then there goes with I3, I4. There will be a lot of terminals or terms, right? So it looks very congested. So what we did is we reduced the congestion. We are having only three loops. We are only having three parameters. It looks good, right? Similarly, this I1 and I2 reach here, right? I1 plus I2. Similarly, I minus I1 minus I2 goes over here like this. So when they meet up, there is minus I1 plus I1 minus I2 plus I2. So this current will be I current leaves off 10 volt. I current reaches here. Good. right? I hope you have understood how the current division has been done. Now we will go with what? Your Kirchhoff's laws. We have to consider loops. This is first loop. Let's take this as second, and let's take this one as third loop. So first we'll start with loop 1. That is loop is A. Oh, we added name. The name is there in the book. It is A, B, C, D, E. Let's take it like this. Right. So loop A, B, C, A. Right. Now A, B, C, A. I'm going in clockwise direction as normally I do. Right. Let's start with supply. I'm moving from what to what? I'm moving from negative to positive. So it is plus 10 volt. Then I'm reaching 4 ohm. Right. The 4 ohm resistance is having current in this direction, and I am also moving in this direction. So it is negative. It's 4 I1. Right. Minus. Why? I'm moving in this direction, same current. So it is 2 into I1 plus I2 plus. There is another 1 ohm resistance. Should I write plus? No, it is minus itself because I am moving in this direction. Current is also in the same direction in the case of 1 ohm. So it is minus I. 1 into I, right, is equal to 0. Now let's rearrange the terms which are common. 10 I will write here. I1, there are 2 terms. So it is 6 I1 minus 2 I2 minus I is equal to 0. Right. Let's bring 10 over here. So that becomes 6 I1 plus 2 I2 plus I is equal to 10. So that's the first equation. Keep it there itself. Right. Clear? Now I'm moving on to the next loop. What is the second equation, guys? For the loop A, C, or is it C, D, A. We'll go by this loop. So again, clockwise direction I'm moving. So A, C, D, A. So let's move on with the 10 volt battery. I'm moving from plus to negative, minus 10 volt, right? Then I'm reaching 1 ohm. I'm moving this direction. The current is in the opposite direction. So it is plus I into 1, right? Plus, let's see if it is plus or not. This is the direction I'm moving. Current is in the opposite direction. So it is plus 2 into, what is the current here? I minus I1 minus I2. Then it goes on, I am moving to 4 ohm, right? So 4 ohm, I am moving in this direction, current is in this direction, right? So this opposite. So plus 4 into 4 is having I minus I1 as the current through it, right? Now the entire thing is completed. So equated to 0 according to KVL. Now you just have to rearrange. I term, there are 2I, that is 4, so 6I, 7I, right? So minus 10, right? Then plus 7I. Then there is I1 minus 2I1 minus 4I1, that is minus 6I1, minus 6I1. Then there is I2, that is minus 2I2 is equal to 10. I will bring this 10 here. Right. Let's make this as second equation. Clear? Right. Now we are going to going for the third loop. This is the third loop. Again, I am moving in clockwise direction. So loop B, E, D, B. You need not write C because the loop is like this, right? B, E, D, B. Clear? Again, I'm starting with the supply section. I'm moving from plus to minus, so it is minus 5 volt minus, right? Because I'm moving in the same direction as the current in 2 ohm, right? So 2 into I minus I1 minus I2. Then it reaches here. I'm moving in the opposite direction as the current, right? Current is in downward direction. I'm moving in upward, right? Clockwise, right? So it is plus 2 into I1 plus I2, right? Finish. Only 3 materials are there, right? So I'm going to then equate to 0. Now I'm going to bring common terms. 5 I'm going to bring here. So it is equal to 5. So 2I, there is only one I, 2I, right? So it is minus 2I. Then I1, there are 2 terms. So it is minus, minus, plus, plus. So 4I1, right? Then this is plus 2, that is 4I2 is equal to 5. You got the third equation. See? till here physics is completed. That is, you have written 3 equations. How to solve it mathematically you have learned, I think, 8th and 7th classes. Now there are 3 equations you guys have to solve, right? Now see, you are asked what is the current through each resistor, right? So let's move on how we are going to solve the current. So you are having 1 and 2 equation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add these 2 equations. Let's see what we're coming, because why I'm adding, see, there is 2i1 here, right? Now 2i1 is there. 2, there is something mistake here. I wrote 6i1, then this is 2i2, right? Right, so this is 2i2. I'm sorry guys. Yeah, now we are having 2 equations here. There is 6i1, there is minus 6i1, there is plus 2i2, there is minus 2i2. This 2 terms goes off when I add, so you can directly find the value of I when you add these 2 equations. Let's add equation 1 plus 2. There is what? You will get 7i plus I, that is 8i. The other terms goes off, is equal to 20. 10 plus 10, 20. So you can get I is equal to 20 by 8, or it is 5 by 2, or it is 2.5 ampere. Right? It's very easy to get that part. Clear? Right. Now we move on with this value can be substituted in something else, right? Now I'm going to put this 5 by 2 or 2.5. Better to put 5 by 2. So I'm going to put this value into the equation 1. So 6i1, right? In place of 6i1, it is 6i or 6i1? 6i1 plus 2i2 plus I, right? In place of I am going to write 5 by 2 is equal to 10, right? So I will get 6i1 plus 2i2 is equal to 10 minus 5 by 2, or it is 20 minus 5, that is 15 by 2, right? So I'm going to rewrite here down. It is 6i1 plus 2i2 is equal to 15 by 2. Let's make this as an equation, say 4, right? Clear? I hope this much is clear. Right. Now similarly, I am going to put this I value in the third equation also. So what becomes? That is minus 2 into I, that is 5 by 2 plus 4i1 plus 4i2 is equal to 5. I am going to write here so that we can write the fourth and fifth equation below itself. So 2 and 2 cancels off. Right. So minus 5 that goes inside. This becomes 4i1 plus i2 is equal to 10. So I am going to write the same here. 4i1 plus 4i2 is equal to 10. Again, you have a fourth and fifth equation. Now it is very easy. It is just like x and y. You have 2 equations and 2 variables. Let's see how you guys are going to solve it. Okay, what we are going to do, see, it's better to make this as 4. So I am going to multiply this with 2. So this equation becomes, I'm going to write it with pen well above, with multiply it becomes 12i1 and then 2, that is 4i2. 2, when you multiply this denominator 2 goes off, so there is only 50, right? Now I can minus these two guys. What happens? 12i1 minus 4i1, that is 8i1. Then 4i2 goes off. 15 minus 10 is 5. I can get I1 is equal to 5 by 8 ampere. That is around 0.625 ampere. You got this next current also. I hope this much is clear. That is what is I1 here. Let's move on. I1 is a current which is flowing through 4 ohm. Right. What is the I current which you got? I is a current through 1 ohm. You got 2 guys for these guys. Clear? Right. So now let's move on, guys. What and all we found, I took another paper, that's why. We found I as around how much? We found it as 2.5 ampere. That is the 2.5 ampere which is flowing through 1 ohm resistor here. Then we found I1 as how much? 0.625 ampere. I1 is a current through 4 ohm resistor. This much we have found. Right. Now gradually we are going to find what? I2 also. That is very easy. You have an I6i1 plus 2i2 is equal to 15 by 2. Just substitute the value of I1 here. So it becomes what? 6 into I1 I am going to substitute as 5 by 8 because it's very easy to cut it off. Plus 2i2 is equal to 15 by 2. Sorry. right? That gives you, now what happens here, that is 30 by 8, you cancel out. Now the calculation is in your hand. You will get I2 as 15 by 8. See if you are getting the same answer. I'm not going to do the entire calculation, guys. You will get the I2 current as 15 by 8. Now I will tell you guys what to do. Now I2 is a current which we are having here, right? That is how much it is, 15 by 8. Clear? Now it is very easy to find I minus I1 minus I2. You got all the terms. Similarly, you have I1. Every terms you can find by yourself. I'm not going to do it by, or I'm not going to separately write it as your homework. Just tell me which or current or each resistor's current. You guys can tell me by yourself. Let's see how you're going to get it. Okay.